Hi everyone, welcome back to another online yoga class with me. A bit sad that we're not face to face, but hopefully you can get something out of this class. We're going to be focusing on creating some really safe, healthy, functional movements for our bodies, mindful breathing, and just all-round relaxation. So hopefully you can get something really good out of it and just enjoy this class. To start us off, we're starting off with centering of the breath, which is what we do every class. So find yourself in a comfortable seated position. And we are closing the eyes. Turning our attention inwards, we are focusing on creating a slow, steady, and long inhale in through the nose. And as we exhale, we are completely and fully emptying the lungs. With each inhale, we want to feel our belly expands with air. And as we exhale, we want to squeeze and draw our navel back in towards the spine to make sure we're really letting go of that whole breath before we take in our new inhale. Right now, you have nowhere else to be. You have nothing else to be doing. This time is purely dedicated towards you, your bodies, and your minds, and your well-being, most importantly. Feel free to keep your eyes closed while we get started. We're just starting off with some really simple, easygoing movements. We are going to be working through our asanas today, which are all of our yoga postures. And then we're finishing off with a meditation, which is everyone's favorite part. So feel free to keep eyes closed, as I said. You don't have to, feel free to open them. We're just rolling back the shoulders. And roll the shoulders forward. Bring your shoulders to stillness. We're going to bring some rolls into the neck. Really big, slow circles. And back in the opposite direction. And back to stillness. From here, we're inhaling, reaching our arms up. We're exhaling over to the left. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Exhale over to the right. This is all we're doing, going from side to side. Inhale back to the center. Exhale to the other side. With each exhale, try to get a little bit deeper into each side. Just a couple more times. When you're ready, coming back to the center, bring the arms down onto the knees. We're going to pick our feet up, bringing our legs out in front of us. We're going to take one foot over the top of the knee. We're coming into our spinal twist. Opposite arm across that knee, looking out over our back shoulder. Just slow and steady breaths. There's no rush. There's no stress. Just take your time. When you're ready, going to take this through into the other side to release that foot, then into the other leg, other arm across, so opposite arm to the knee. Look out over that back shoulder. And coming back to the center and release. We're going to take an inhale here, inhaling up. As you exhale, hinge from the hips, we're reaching towards our toes. Just slow and steady breaths. And rolling our spines back up. Let's swing the legs around, coming onto the knees. Sending the hips back, so in our child's pose. Going to walk our hands over to one side, so getting that stretch to the side of the ribs. And let's walk it over to the other side. So we're opening up through one side of the rib cage, feeling that stretch to the side of the body. And walking hands back to the center. From here, we're shifting weight forward, so we're in our tabletop. Wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. We're going to come into our thread the needle. Great shoulder opening stretch. Take an inhale, reaching our arms up. Exhale, thread the needle, come down onto the shoulder. If you're wanting to deepen the stretch, something you can do is place your opposite hand on top of that hand. Slightly guide that arm away from the body. That's optional though, you definitely don't have to do it. And inhale, stretching back up. Exhale, hands down. I'm going to take this through into the other side now. So from here, taking an inhale with the opposite arm. Exhale, thread the needle. Coming down onto the shoulder. Same thing again, we've got that optional additional stretch. So we can place our hands on top of each other. Slightly guide that lower arm away from the body. Just listen to your own body, do what feels right for you. Just because you did that extra stretch on the other side does not mean you have to do it on this side as well. And we're inhaling, coming back up, we're stretching up. And exhaling, bringing that hand back down onto the mat. From here in our tabletop, we're going to take through our cat-cow stretches. So having a neutral spine to start us off. We're taking an inhale, arching the spine, tucking our chin into the chest. And exhale, slightly drop the belly, slightly direct the gaze up. Take your time. There is no rush with these movements. We're inhaling to arch, exhaling to release. Slightly drop the belly, look forward and slightly up. Just a couple more. And coming back to a neutral spine. From here, we're tapping onto the toes and we're going to send our hips up into downward dog. Take a second, paddle the feet, stretch out to the backs of your legs. Your legs work so hard for your body every single day. So do your feet. Give them some special time and attention. Focus on stretching out these areas. Really coming up onto the tippy toes each time you paddle. From here, we're going to start to walk our hands in towards the feet. So coming into a forward fold knee, nice generous bend in the knees, absolutely go for it. We're going to hold onto the elbows and we're doing a little bit of rocking from side to side. Releasing the elbows and we are slowly rising, stacking one vertebrae on top of each other so we come to standing. From here now standing, we're going to come into a flow with the breath. So making sure that we are using our inhales and exhales with each movement to get the full benefit out of these postures. So for this flow, we are going to be inhaling. As we do so, we're rising the arms. Coming into an exhale, we are hinging from the hips into a forward fold. Tucking the hands underneath the toes. Take an inhale here. Exhale to drop the hips, coming into our yogi squat. Just allow a natural breath here. We're coming into side stretch on each side. And once again, inhale, hips up. Exhale, rolling the spine up. I'm going to take this through a few times. Take your own time, there's no rush. Inhale to rise the arms. Exhale, forward fold, tap under the toes. Inhale here. Exhale, drop the hips. Natural breath and side stretches. Inhale, bring the hips up. Exhale, roll the spine. Twice more on your own timing. next time that you roll up, we're going to be staying up here in our standing position. Take a second here, close the eyes, open for your palms of your hands. Just using this opportunity of stillness to notice how we're feeling. Notice how the body's feeling. Notice how you're doing. Any areas, stiffness, soreness, any areas that are already starting to feel a little bit more relaxed. Turning the attention to the breath. If you've started to lose that long, slow, steady belly breathing, take this opportunity to come back to it. Focusing on creating that long, elongated inhale down into the belly. Feel the belly rise with air, feeling it expand. And as we exhale, squeezing our tummy muscles, drawing navel back into the spine, emptying that breath. From here, feel free to open the eyes. We're going to come into our next set of postures. So we're coming into a wide stance, feet nice and wide apart, as wide as you are comfortable with. Just making sure that it's definitely wider than hip distance. We want to come to a really comfortable stance so we can move our knees with ease. Toes out at a 45-degree angle. They're not facing forward. They're facing slightly out, just a little bit kinder on our knees. We're bending into our elbows. Come down, bending into the knees. This is our goddess pose. We want to keep our spine nice and straight, pelvis in a neutral position. We're not sending the pelvis forward, bringing a swoop into the belly, and we're not sending the pelvis back, bringing our belly down. Belly in a nice neutral position. Focusing on the breath. Straightening the legs, holding elbows, forward fold. And we're rocking from side to side once again. From here, release the elbows, take your hands back behind your spine, interlacing your fingers. From here, just make sure you're breathing at a natural, normal pace. We're going to drop the palms, drawing in our shoulder stretch. Just want to say and bring the arms down, bring the spine up to back, standing upright. Sending our arms out wide, focusing on the breath, focusing on stretching outward. If you can, slightly reaching back, opening through the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, hands opposite foot. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the opposite side. I think you guys are getting a hang of what we're doing here. Inhale to the center. Exhale to draw in our stretch. We want to try and keep our legs straight. Hopefully your legs are far enough apart that you can do this. If you need to bring a slight bend into the knees to do this each time, that is fine. Just try to keep it limited to that one knee and not both knees. Just a couple more times. And back. to the center. Drawing our hands into prayer. Send the hips back. Coming into our side lunge, same thing again. Inhale to the center. Exhale to one side. Couple more times. And next time we come down onto the right, does not have to be graceful. We want to come down into a full low lunge, as low as you can towards the ground. And we're dropping our hips. If keeping your leg like this is not helpful, feel free to come to more of a butterfly on this side. Bringing the knee down onto the mat. We are then drawing our side stretch, so holding onto the opposite leg. We're stretching through the side of the body. And coming back up, we're going to pick the hips up. And we're taking this across to the other side, dropping into our low lunge. Dropping hips onto the mat. If you want to bring that foot into a butterfly, you can, it's up to you. And we're taking in our side stretch once again. And slowly releasing, coming back up, and we're coming back to our center. Once we've reached our center, heel toe your feet back in towards each other, stepping to the back of the mat. Once we reach the back of our mat, we are going to be taking through a flow from this point. Keeping in touch with the breath, but as always, trying to move with each exhale, each inhale. Take an inhale here, reaching up. We're exhaling, folding forward. Let's start to walk our hands out. So we're in our downward dog. And we're paddling the feet. Take your time here. Really paddling on each side, coming up onto the tippy toes in between. Drawing opposite knee in towards the chest each time as well. From here up into the tippy toes, bending the knees in towards the chest. And straightening the legs, coming down into our dolphin. By now, you know that you keep your head free, you're not resting it on the mat or on the arms. We're focusing on the breath. and back up onto the hands. From here, we're going to swing one foot back, coming into our three-legged dog. And from here, sweeping that knee forward, grounding it between the hands. This time, we're just straight away dropping that back leg. So once you're in this position, we're going to come into our half split. So straightening this front leg, drawing chest towards the knee. Slow and steady breathing. And bending into this front knee. From here, we're going to take a hold of this knee with our hand that's closest. We're going to encourage the knee away from the body, opening up through the hips. This is a great hip opening stretch. Just take your time with it. Make sure you are listening to your body. Drawing that knee back in, we're going to come down into our pigeon. Keeping the hips square, imagining we've got two magnets attached to each hip bone that are drawing in towards your mat. So you don't want to send that back leg back too much. Sadly, this is not really our pigeon. You want to keep hips nice and square. And we're coming into a pose of relaxation. If you find that pigeon is not possible for you and you are just like this and you can't bring your hip down, bring your bend into your back knee, fold over this front knee. Pose of animal relaxation, you're going to get similar benefits and it's going to warm your hips up to one day be able to come to a full pigeon. We're going to slowly and safely begin to come out of this pose, bringing that foot back down onto the mat in front of you. So you can pick up that back leg, ground it at 90 degrees, open to warrior two. Looking out over our front fingertips, focusing on the breath. Inhale, elbow to knee, side stretch. Exhale, straighten the front leg, reverse peace warrior. Inhale down to our Trikonasana, stop where you can keep both legs straight and just allow a natural breath. Opening back to warrior two. Looking over the front fingertips. Inhale, side stretch. Exhale, reverse peace warrior. Inhale, down to Trikonasana. And just allow a natural breath. Bringing a bend into this front knee, we're releasing our hands. We're going to come, I'm a bit wobbly today, coming into our twist, tucking your elbow on the outside of the knee, If you need a hand on the mat, that's fine. Hands down onto the mat. Step back. And we're slowly lowering down onto the mat. Taking an inhale here. Exhale to press into our cobra. We're slightly looking up and we're keeping the shoulders down. If your cobra looks like this, your shoulders are right up by the ears, this is going to create a lot of tension and stress. Come down onto the forearms into our baby cobra. You'll still get the same benefits in the back. Or just make sure you bring a bend into the elbows, bring the hands further apart. Main point is keep your shoulders down. And lifting up, walk the hands back, taking a moment to rest in our child's pose. From here, let's shift our weight forward once again, back into our tabletop. Going to tap into the toes, send the hips back up to our downward dog. Let's paddle our feet once again, really coming up onto the tippy toes, encouraging the opposite knee towards the chest each time we paddle. Onto the tippy toes, bend the knees in towards the chest. Straightening the legs down into our dolphin. Focusing on the breath. Long, slow, steady inhale. And a full, complete exhale. Hands back up onto the hands. From here, we're going to take our three-legged dog through into the opposite side to last time, swinging that knee through, grounding our foot between the hands. Drop that back leg, untuck those toes. Coming to our half split. And folding forward, going to come into our hip opener, encouraging that knee away from the body, drawing the hips towards the mat. Listen to your body, don't overdo it, just do it to a degree that feels comfortable for you. You do want to be feeling a bit of a stretch, but not too much like it's causing any pain. There's a really big difference between effort and pain. Effort's good, pain's not. Bring the knee back in towards the body and come down into our pigeon pose or our pose of animal relaxation. We can't keep those hips square, we keep coming back. Just bend the back knee, animal relaxation. Otherwise, coming into our pigeon relaxation. Resting for a few breaths. So slowly and safely going to start coming out of this pose. And we're going to ground that foot back out in front of us. So once again, we can tap under that back leg, lift it up so we can open to warrior two. Keep your front knee externally rotated, we're not dropping in. Looking out over our front fingertips. Inhale, side stretch. Exhale to reverse peace warrior. Inhale down into Trikonasana. Stop breathing, keep both legs straight. And we're resting here. Focus on just creating a natural organic breath. Coming back up into warrior two, bending into that front knee once again. Looking out over our front fingertips. And inhale to side stretch. Exhale to reverse peace warrior. Inhale to Trikonasana, making sure you're stopping with both legs are straight and just focusing on a natural breath here. Going to come into our twisted lunge, so elbow on the outside of the knee. You need a hand on the mat, go for it. And releasing hands onto the mat, taking that step back, so we're in our plank. And once again, we're slowly lowering to the mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale to cobra. Or baby cobra, just listen to the body, listen to your lower back, and keep your shoulders down to reduce any stress or tension building in this area. We want to look slightly up, so we're creating a natural elongation of our spine. And let's lift the body up, walk the hands back, and take a well-deserved break in child's pose. Slowly lifting our bodies up. We're going to bring our hips down onto the mat, swing the legs around. So you can come down onto the back with our knees bent. And we come down onto the back here. We're going to draw our knees into the chest to start us off, focusing on massaging the lower back and the hips. This is often a really stiff or sore area of the body, so just giving it some special attention. And squeezing the knees into the chest. Gonna lift the head up off the mat if this is comfortable for you. If at any point your neck gets a bit stiff or sore, feel free to bring it back down. And releasing head back onto the mat. Holding onto our knees, we're going to encourage some separation, opening up through the hips. Focusing on bringing our knees down towards the mat. And bringing our knees back together, keeping our legs together, drawing our arms out at shoulder height. We're going to drop our knees in one direction, face to the opposite direction. Just take through really slow, steady breathing here. Just a really gentle spinal twist to finish off our class for our meditation. When you're ready, come back into the center. Let your legs go out long and bring your arms down by your sides. From this point, if you need to quickly grab a jumper or a blanket to keep you warm during your meditation, and give you the opportunity to do so now. Quick drink of water, whatever you need. When you're ready and comfortable, we're lying down in Shavasana on the back. We're letting go of all stress, tension, and effort in the body. Just let yourself be completely comfortable, completely at ease. Relax the muscles in your forehead, in between your eyebrows. Relax your eyes, your cheeks. Relax and release all the little muscles around your mouth and lips and your jaw. Relax and release your shoulders, both equal distances away from your ears. And relax and release your hips, both equally as heavy, sinking deep into your mat. Release the tension in your hands and feet. Let them be heavy. Let your feet drop out to the sides. Take in a slow, steady, long inhale in through the nose. Feel your belly rise with air with that inhale. Taking in the relaxation we have cultivated during this practice. As you exhale and release, draw the navel back in towards the spine. Fully empty that breath and let your body sink deeper and deeper into your mat with each exhale. You have nowhere else to be. You have nothing else to do. It is not often you're given an opportunity purely to relax, release, and be mindful of your breath and body. Focusing on the breath and connecting to it is the easiest and most effective, quickest way to relax our nervous systems, and by doing so, release anxiety and stress and promote well-being. For the last remaining minutes of our class, I'm going to leave you in silence and stillness just to enjoy this practice. Let's slowly and gently begin to draw some movement back into the body. Wriggle your fingers and your toes. Gently let the head rock from side to side. Just slowly waking up. With your next inhale, reach your arms up and back behind your head on the mat, stretching and lengthening all the way from your fingertips down to your toes. When you're ready, drawing hands into prayer at the heart. I honor and respect the place in you where the whole universe resides. A place of peace, of light, and of love. When you're in that place and I'm in that place, we are in the same place and we are one. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Hope you enjoyed it. Your bodies, your minds got something out of it. And whether you're watching this in the morning, hope you have a really great day. If you're watching this in the arvo, hope you have a really great sleep tonight. And hopefully I'll be with you face to face in person really soon. But thank you for joining me for this practice and I'll see you guys later.